And welcome. It's Jason and Zach again with RTV Technologies. And today we want to talk about Windows 10. Why is this important, you might ask? And hopefully nobody out there is actually using Windows 10 anymore because Windows 10 hits its end of life in October 14th, 2025. Zach, tell us why this is important and the significance of this.
Yeah, this is actually very important. And for those of you that haven't been in the workforce very long, every time Microsoft has a new operating system, the old one will always go end of life. And all that means is that they are not going to support it anymore, and it's going away. There's going to be no more feature updates. It's not going to be supported with security updates, and that makes it inherently vulnerable to attacks.
Yeah, for sure. So, in other words, no patches, no more patches, no more security updates, and every device still running Windows 10 becomes a wide open target. So, what can people do if they're still running Windows 10, or if they think that they need to continue running Windows 10? What are some options here for people?
Yeah, so the two options are one to upgrade, which not every machine can upgrade. There's actually a large portion of machines that are out there that can't upgrade. And the reason for that is the TPM 2.0 chip, which is a security chip. Only the newer machines have the newer security chip, which you need for Windows 11. Now, the other option is to go get a new machine. And frankly, from the standpoint of our company and security experts or IT experts, typically it's a 3 to 5 year life cycle for any commercial or residential machine. Residential is a little bit shorter. So you should really be looking at a new machine anyway if your machine is in that 3 to 5 year range, and that's honestly going to be your best option so that you don't have to worry about any interoperability issues with the new operating system.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So what if people decide they want to continue running this unsupported software? We talked a little bit about the security ramifications, but what does that mean in the world of like compliance and liability?
Yeah, for the most part, you probably are not going to be compliant with almost any compliance standard, as well as you really need to look at your cyber and liability insurance because most of the stipulations say that your machines have to be patched and up to date. Now, if you have a Windows 10 machine and you're planning on running it past that October 2025 date for end of life, then you're inherently not going to be complying with those terms. And that could mean that you are no longer covered.
Right. Because it also comes down to risk mitigation. And, we talk about cyber liability all the time, and people actually need to be able to show that they've taken reasonable steps to mitigate that risk. And if they continue running Windows 10 past end of life, that's a huge risk that they're accepting. And I would argue they probably don't entirely know what they're accepting.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Most companies, this isn't something that's on their radar. It's something that they don't really pay attention to. So as you know, a CISO or a CIO or CSO, we need to bring this up and make sure companies and execs are aware that this is a liability. It is a huge liability because again, you're not getting any of the security updates. So any of the 0 days or any of the major players that are in the game trying to attack or hack computers and corporations, you're not going to be patched against any of those vulnerabilities. And that's a huge liability for a company.
Yeah, for sure. Because not only does it jeopardize your security like that, but also it jeopardizes your cyber insurance. So lots of very important things to think about. Hopefully this was valuable for everybody out there. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and reach out to us and stay safe out there, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next time.